Is it true that 95% of crypto is, quote, scams and garbage? That's a good question, because there's now someone who has a pretty large following online that is claiming 95%, not 80%, not 69%, not half, 95% of crypto is scams and garbage. And I happen to think that is not only an extremely incorrect opinion, but it's something that honestly makes the crypto space a little bit less fun when people are talking like that. Because the truth is, this right here is pretty silly. Shibtoshi Nakamoto, aka Billy Marcus, says the reason why crypto is 95% scams and garbage and most people are a-holes is because crypto is, in fact, 95% scams and garbage, and most people in crypto are a-holes. Let's change that. It starts with you, what you support, and how you behave. There should not be this mindset of some people trying to control other people's behavior online. You can support what you want, you can enjoy cryptocurrency, and also realize that you are smart enough to decipher if something is worthwhile or not. That's why you continue to stay updated on information and news, and you get what you need to be able to make the best decision in the market, and you have a way higher chance than a 5% chance of actually being correct and finding a good project with long-term potential and potential to make money on it. But you know what, it is what it is, so that's what he said there. Then Elon Musk replied with a laughing emoji, which I think actually is a good response to that, because I mean, hopefully Billy Marcus was joking a little bit here, but to be honest, it doesn't really seem like his general persona online is that of joking about thinking crypto is in some ways garbage. Billy Marcus seems to consistently think that a lot of things suck and are bad and are terrible, and in my personal viewpoint, I don't really see things the same way in the crypto space. When we are talking about being able to actually go against the government with our own currency, when we are talking about people being able to send transactions in only seconds rather than having to wait for the specific bank hours that your bank is open, and being limited with things like PayPal and other payment software services to only a few thousand per day and only a certain amount per month, all those limits, all those things put in place by powerful people are holding us back from living a more financially free life. And so that's why crypto does actually have a lot of use case even beyond a lot of the smaller things that are still big but are smaller in comparison to the overall picture there. Then we have this guy who says, invents Doge, says 95% of crypto is scams and garbage. Come on, man, that's a low blow. Dogecoin happens to be the greatest cryptocurrency on earth, and regardless of what any negativity is happening on the internet, Dogecoin still remains the best cryptocurrency out there. My personal favorite. A lot of us enjoy it for a lot of reasons, whether it's the memes, the fun potential, the ability for Elon Musk to do cool stuff for it. There's a lot of reasons too, like Dogecoin, but of course it is more than simply scams and garbage. And when you are calling out to other people and other projects in the crypto space, then it's going to lead to people hating on Dogecoin more, and I don't want to see that happening. Dogecoin does not deserve to have more hate on it because some people in the community are hating on other projects. Instead, we should embrace and love other projects in the crypto space. Yes, it is true that some projects are actually scams and garbage, so let's call out those projects specifically and say this project is a scam or garbage for this exact reason. This project you should stay away from for this specific reason, but not just a generalized statement like that, because yes, it is popular online to just say everything sucks, everything's bad, everything's terrible. It's the easiest cop-out there is, because then you don't actually have to go through and decide which things are good and which things are bad. You can just blanketly say that everything's bad, and how can anyone possibly disagree with that? I mean, surely you have to be right if you say everything is bad. I mean, it's a similar thing that happens in politics. You see people who will say every single political position is bad. I don't support any of them, and that's a very popular position. Why? Because it is basically a cop-out. You're refusing to actually pick the options that are available, and yes, it may be true that a lot of those options are bad, but you still have to have one of them in office because that's the way the system works. And so if you decide you're not going to pick any of them and all of them are terrible, well, then you're just simply going outside of the system and other people will pick for you. It doesn't actually make a difference or make things better, despite the fact that it can be a popular opinion, because everyone can get tired of certain bad parts of the community, whether it's politics or crypto. You can get tired of the scams and everything like that, and just it's easy to say, all right, well, then everything's bad. If some things are bad, everything must be, but that's fortunately not the case. And Billy says Doge was literally made a satire because crypto is 95% scams and garbage, which there is some degree of truth to the fact that we love how Dogecoin, its funny nature, its joke-like appearance, make it way more fun for it to actually be successful as a currency. It makes it way more enjoyable to be part of the community and to see it accomplishing these insane, incredible market cap goals, and to see it actually having incredible use case abilities across the globe. All of that's awesome, and it makes it even more fun to see people who doubt it because of the name and then see all that it can do and are instantly convinced that they were wrong. That's probably the most entertaining, or at least one of the most entertaining things about cryptocurrency by far. So we'll continue to embrace that fun part of it, but that doesn't mean that we have to think 95% of the crypto space is scams. Just to dive a little bit deeper into that, let's go ahead and look at the top cryptos right now and see, are they scams? Is 95% of crypto scams and garbage? As he said in his tweet, Bitcoin at 30,169 is the biggest cryptocurrency by far, with a market cap of $571 billion. That right there, just alone, takes up 44.3% of the market, right there. Then we have Ethereum, which takes up approximately 19.2% of the market, with a market cap of $247 billion currently. So those two together take up close to 70% of the entire market. And it's safe to say that Ethereum, which has so many broad use cases, from sending and receiving money, I've used it multiple times for things from making NFT projects, from doing cool use case things like smart contracts, where you can actually have bets and things like that in place, being able to send it on Saturday, Sunday, any time of day, any time of the year. You can send cryptocurrency seamlessly and in a short amount of time without having to pay very much money at all. Now, occasionally those fees will go up, and then at that point, okay, maybe there's a little bit of garbageness to Ethereum when the fees are like $80 and you're trying to do a $100 transaction. Okay, fine, you can win that argument, but most of the time the fees are not that high, and they are working on steps to actually bring the fees down for Ethereum, which will help it overall. I've spent $5 on gas fees before. I spent $80 on gas fees before. It just depends. Then Bitcoin, on the other hand, is by far the most established cryptocurrency out there. It's been around since the very beginning, because it was, of course, the first cryptocurrency that has ever been invented by Satoshi Nakamoto. Oh wait, no, not him. Satoshi Nakamoto is who invented it. Let's make sure we're clear about that. Satoshi Nakamoto is the guy behind this, and no one knows for sure who he is, even though there is speculation about who he may be, and there's also speculation he is likely comprised of multiple different people going under one alias. So it is what it is. But the point is, Bitcoin has consistently been one of the best places, especially over the last decade, to put money and hedge against inflation, as the dollar has gone down in value massively. I mean, we're talking huge percentage point losses because of all this massive money printing that continues to go on, to the point where even Jeff Bezos now is calling out the insane spending that the government continues to do, regardless of who's in power, Republicans or Democrats. It doesn't matter. They all seem to not really care too much about the deficit, and they all spend like crazy and print like crazy and just nonchalantly, worry-free, go through their governmency, printing all sorts of money. So there we go. That's the main use case that Bitcoin has had. Now, yes, it can be used for payments and for things like that, and it has been many times used for that, but still, primarily the main use case of it is as a hedge against inflation. And because of its nature, where the inflation rate of Bitcoin continues to go down every single halving period, that makes it so that it is a long-term viable solution to being a store of value. And it does also set up multiple big catalysts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency altogether as a result. So there we go. Those are the two main ones. We're talking about close to 70% of the market just with those alone, and neither of them are scams or garbage, and arguably they're the exact opposite of that. If you want to say something that's a scam or garbage, I think it's easier to say fiat currency is that than any cryptocurrency, especially toward the top. So that's something to keep in mind there. And even if you want to say, okay, maybe he was talking about cryptos as a whole, well, let's go ahead and scroll down and see some more projects here. Then we have Tether Usd coin, both of them. Now, there is some vulnerability with both of those, so I do still encourage you to hold multiple different stable coins in your portfolio if you're going to be holding stables at all. That's a smart thing to do, but still, to this point, they have not had issues yet. They've continued to function properly. BNB is one of the top cryptos out there, similar to Ethereum, has a lot of those same use cases and even lower fees than Ethereum. BNB is consistently one of the currencies that is used the most when it comes to its smart contract ability. That right there has a lot of use case. XRP has been very controversial in some ways, but still a great cryptocurrency with solid coding. Cardano ADA, solid coding. Solana, one of the most underrated projects because it does have similar utility to Ethereum and also similar utility to BNB without having some of the negative sides that both BNB and Ethereum have. Then we continue scrolling down. Dogecoin right there, obviously the future cryptocurrency of Earth. You can't argue against that. 12 billion market cap right now. Then Avalanche, Polkadot, Tron, Shiba Inu, even coins like Shiba Inu, they still provide utility in the fact that they're fun. If you're just simply making videos on a currency, that's fun, that's utility. It doesn't matter what you're doing as a community, as long as you are making people enjoy their life more because of your currency, then boom, that's utility. Now, if you do more than that, even better, and most coins do more than that, but still, that's all you really need, in my opinion, to become a viable use case currency. Then we have Crow, which has direct use case tied to Crypto.com app. Then we continue to scroll down. FTX coin as well, a similar situation as Crow. FTX token right there, FTT. Then we have Stellar XLM, one of the fastest cryptocurrencies out there. We have Uniswap. Everyone knows the use case. It's pretty clear there. Near Protocol, Litecoin, Polygon. You continue to go down the list. And one of my favorites, if we scroll down a little bit farther, is of course Helium, which has an actual radio network to power its cryptocurrency operation and transactions. That right there is one of my favorite use case heavy cryptos. But I don't know, where's this idea? Which part of all of that suggests that we have 95% scams and garbage? I just don't see it. I would love to see more positivity and less of the negative side, especially on social media. We want to represent our community as well as we possibly can. I'm Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.